The 6 o'clock news starts right now. 2 bodies in 2 weeks found along Solano Creek Greenway trails. This past weekend, San Antonio Park Police found a man who may have been murdered in a wooded area near Walker Ranch Park.
All while the murder of a woman 2 weeks ago along another trail remains unsolved. Katrina Weber shows us the steps other people are taking to stay ahead of trouble.
She's sticking to solid ground, and it's because Selena Brooks herself is a bit shaky.
All I want to do is to be able to get out and to feel comfortable as I'm walking, relax.
She's been on edge since a second body was found this weekend along one of San Antonio's trails. This time it was near Walker Ranch Park, where she usually walks 10 to 15 miles each day.
And I was hoping that I'd run into a police officer out here so that I could ask, do you think it's safe for me to go?
She's not the only one asking that question lately. 2 weeks ago, someone killed 63-year-old Stacy Dramiga on another trail across town near DeFoss Park.
I couldn't find my pepper spray this morning, and I'm definitely not going to come out here with my gun.
While Brooks is thinking of ways to arm herself, others are relying on natural defenses.
They don't go over my ears, so I don't have to worry about being completely shut out. I can still be aware of my surroundings.
Making sure they can hear and see what's going on.
Don't have your nose in the phone, look at people when they come by.
Mike Nichols says that has always worked for him and his dog Flash. Most people say, if nothing else, this has made them more aware of what's happening around them, but they say they have no plans to live in fear.
It's not going to stop me from coming out.
Trust your gut. Like if something feels uncomfortable and you can't explain it, just go ahead and turn around.
But every walk now, they say, will include steps to stay safe. Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
She was in charge of babysitting a 1-year-old. Now 36-year-old Heather Rodriguez facing charges of serious bodily injury to a child, a first-degree felony, because her dogs attacked that baby. That child is now fighting for his young life. According to the Bexar County Sheriff's Office, Rodriguez is supposed to be babysitting the 1-year-old inside this Northeast Bexar County home. Deputies say at one point she left the home and left her own 13-year-old in charge of the baby. During that time, the dogs attacked the baby for an unknown reason. The teen tried to protect the baby, but we're told there was a struggle. And given that the dogs were XL bullies, a pit bull mix that's very strong, Sheriff Javier Salazar says the baby has serious injuries to his head and neck. And at this time, Rodriguez is in custody, but not cooperating with detectives.
He seemed to be more concerned with what was going on with those dogs than with the fact that her inaction, her omissions almost caused the death of a baby, and still might, God forbid.
More concerned with the dogs than the baby. Sheriff Javier Salazar didn't know for what reason or for how long Rodriguez left the home. He adds this isn't the first time that they have visited Rodriguez's house. Back in April, the same dogs were barking and growling at a neighbor, preventing him from getting out of his car. She was cited at that time for not having her dogs on leashes. This is now the 13th dog attack we've covered at KSAT since the beginning of 2023. 2 happened last week alone. Animal Care Services of San Antonio have several tips and resources to prevent these kinds of attacks from happening in our neighborhoods. Spaying and neutering, keeping dogs on a leash, just a few of the simple things ACS says that can happen to reduce dog attacks. You can find them on our website right now, KSAT.com. Was it murder or self-defense? That's what a jury must decide in the trial of Jesus San Miguel.
The former John Jay High School student is accused of fatally stabbing his friend and classmate last year during a lunch break.
Erica Hernandez takes us inside the courtroom as opening arguments and testimony began.
You can't bring a knife to a fist fight.
You can use deadly force to defend yourself against deadly force.
The state and defense laid out 2 different versions of what happened on April 4th, 2023. 18-year-old John Jay High School senior Joshua Kinnaman was stabbed to death, allegedly by one of his own friends, Jesus San Miguel. Kinnaman, according to the state, was upset about something San Miguel said to his girlfriend. And during lunch break at La Fiesta de Jalisco, across the street from the school, Kinnaman challenged San Miguel to a fight. Here is the very moments the two met, and San Miguel can be heard saying, "Let's go." What happened next, according to the state, Kinnaman pushed and threw a punch at San Miguel, who then took out a knife and stabbed him. But the defense says San Miguel was trying to leave and de-escalate the situation, but had to defend himself.
He doesn't rush at him and stab him. He doesn't stab him multiple times. He's standing there with his knife in his hand trying to de-escalate.
Other friends who were with San Miguel and Kinnaman at the restaurant told the jury today that they didn't know there was anything wrong between the two and that both were good guys and not known to be violent.
Now, testimony will resume tomorrow morning. When the jury does go deliberate, it'll be up to them to decide if this is self-defense or not. San Miguel faces up to life in prison if he is found guilty. At the Cadena Reeves Justice Center, Erica Hernandez, KSAT 12 News.
Check out traffic on this Monday. We're going to take it to I-10 in Callahan now. And it is actually, I believe that's the eastbound lanes we're looking at I-10. We're facing westbound, the eastbound lanes coming at us. And you can see it's backed up, especially as you get off I-10 to 410. Not that unusual, but certainly a backup at this hour.
Oh, we have an update to our high. 94 was our high temperature today. The record 99, but tomorrow the record's a little bit lower, and I do think we have a really good chance at least tying the record high temperature. Notice the average is 85. We made it to 90 in Kerrville, 97 Cotulla, and even freer 97, 93 the high in Del Rio and Eagle Pass. Going forward, mid-90s next few days. 95 tomorrow, that would tie the record. 96 on Wednesday, that would break the record high. So record challenging warmth lingering around through the middle part of the week. And then we just trim back a few degrees, lower 90s by this upcoming weekend. We also have very strong Category 5 Hurricane Milton to talk about in the Gulf of Mexico, where it's headed and what's keeping it away from us in just a bit.
All right, thank you, Adam. San Antonio firefighters have a new contract. They have new leadership and a new relationship with city management, but they have the same stance on the city manager's salary and tenure as they did back in 2018. Cap it.
Yeah, with just 2 weeks before the start of early voting, the fire union announced its official stance against Prop C. That's a charter amendment that would reverse changes they convinced voters to make 6 years ago. Garrett Berger talked with the union president about why now, 1 month before the election.
It's a 6-year-old fight. Amid a years-long contract battle with the city in 2018, the fire union urged voters to cap the city manager's pay at 10 times the lowest paid employee and limit them to 8 years in the top role. Now, they're urging voters to keep the caps in place.
It came back to, do we believe in the principle of term limits or do we not believe in it?
The election is less than a month away, and Prop C and 5 other amendments were put on the ballot nearly 2 months ago. But Jones said the union was focused on getting a contract first, which was finalized 2.5 weeks ago.
We got a stabilizing contract, and people thought that that would parlay into our non-participation or not taking a stance or even being in favor of overturning our own city charter amendment. And it's a separate issue.
The 2018 caps were seen as a referendum on the union's nemesis, then city manager Cheryl Scully. But she's gone, and so is the union's old president, Chris Steele. Jones says he likes Scully's replacement, Eric Walsh, but it's not about him.
They don't want to see history repeat itself. We're not concerned with that with Eric Walsh, right? This is not personal, it's professional.
Walsh's salary is capped at $374,000, and he has to be replaced by March of 2027. Supporters of Prop C say the caps put San Antonio at a disadvantage for attracting top talent in the future. A PAC led by some notable business community names plans to spend more than $1 million on a pro-charter amendment campaign.
So we already were focused on making sure that everybody participating was educated, so we're going to continue our efforts then.
The union's own PAC has $920,000 in its war chest, so it's not clear yet how much it will dip into it. But Jones says they do plan to actively campaign against the proposition. Garrett Berger, KSAT 12 News.
If you are not registered to vote, you have a little less than an hour to get that done. The deadline is 7 p.m. tonight. If you're scrambling to register, don't worry, it's easy. The Bexar County Elections Department, their office is open until 7 tonight. That office is right here on Frio Street downtown. You can submit your info in person. Again, you have until 7 p.m., a little less than an hour from now. Now, once you are registered, you can vote early or wait for Election Day. That's November 5th. Early voting starts October 21st and runs through November 1st. That does include the weekend. Registered voters can vote at any polling site during that early voting period. We have a list of those locations on our website right now, as well as a breakdown of how to get registered to vote, how to check if you already are registered, and even some ballot information. Scan this QR code. You can find it all on our Vote 2024 page on our website of KSAT.com.
1 year ago today, Hamas terrorists invaded Israel and killed more than 1,200 Israelis, including 30 Americans. The war between Israel and Hamas wages on today, and people all over the world are marking this somber anniversary differently. The Jewish Federation of San Antonio hosting a memorial event this evening. It starts at 6:30 at Temple Bethel to honor those lost, acknowledge those still in captivity, and embrace hope for peace. Community members of all faiths and walks of life are invited to attend.
Did you know that cancer is now the #1 cause of death for the Latino community? Researchers from the University of Texas Health Science Center here in San Antonio also say that Latinos could face a 142% increase in cancer cases in the coming years. And here in South Texas, there's a higher rate of cervical, stomach, and liver cancer compared to Latinos in other parts of the state. Dr. Ramirez and others will join us tomorrow to talk about this issue. We're hosting a live-streamed town hall beginning at 2 p.m., and the conversation will be led by Stefania Jimenez. You can tune in any way you stream. Visit KSAT.com for some more information. 2 murders in one place. Police investigating 2 homicides in the same public housing complex. What people living there are saying in the wake of those tragedies.
Plus, as one region of the country continues to recover from a major storm, another region bracing for impact. What we know about Hurricane Milton when we return. The doctor's in. Well, not now, but will be on Thursday. Doc Talk happening this week. It's all about kids. Here's how it works. Scan the QR code, type a medical question, any health question you'd like to ask a doctor concerning your child this week. And a doctor will be here at KSAT to answer it. Doc Talk airs Thursdays on the news at 6:30. Here's what's coming up tonight on the Night Beat. A lot to talk about: the missions and the team's plans for a new ballpark. Tonight, community members get a chance to voice their opinions on the potential sale of land for that new stadium. Plus, while we look at why Latinos are more likely to die from cancer, you're going to meet a local man who is thriving after surviving stage 4 cancer. His advice for staying healthy on the Night Beat. As you can imagine, residents still shaken today now that police are investigating 2 murders that happened at the same public housing complex downtown just last week.
One man was found dead after a welfare check last Tuesday, and then this past Friday, another man's body was discovered. Police are now confirming that that man died from a gunshot wound to the head.
As Stephanie Cerner reports, people living there at the Victoria Plaza Apartments on Barrera Street mourning the 2 men lost. They're also hoping things will change for their own safety.
It's tragic. Anytime a life is taken, it's a tragedy.
Sylvia Garcia says she is devastated for the 2 men who were found dead at her complex last week and for their loved ones. So she put this makeshift memorial together for them.
I've developed a little shrine here for the people, for the family, and as a bereavement for the 2 men that died.
59-year-old Nick Martinez was killed on Tuesday and was found on the 9th floor. We're told he died of some sharp force injury. And then on Friday, 52-year-old Donald Sterling was found with a gunshot wound to the head. This all happening at a complex intended for seniors and people with disabilities.
We deserve also the comforts of having a roof over our head, being able to reside in a safe place. And there's a lot to say about certain places like our residential community that a lot of people will not come forward because they're afraid of what retaliation.
Sylvia tells us she is encouraged, though, by seeing on-site security at her apartment complex now. She says they've been there since the murders happened.
I believe they're going to change a lot of their policies and how they take care of us, because we've been waiting for that.
Stephanie Cerna, KSAT 12 News.
Opportunity Homes San Antonio sent out a statement saying that they are, quote, actively assessing security measures in place at Victoria Plaza and will continue to work with local authorities. End quote.
As rescue efforts and recovery supplies continue to ramp up in the Appalachian Mountains, millions in Florida are taking cover and thousands evacuating north, with Hurricane Milton now on the radar. A major storm, Category 5 hurricane right now. It's rapidly strengthened in the last 24 hours in the Gulf of Mexico, and we're not even 2 weeks out from Hurricane Helene. And you see there all the debris that's still being cleaned up from that storm.
Yeah, it has to be very uncertain if you're in Florida over the next few days. Adam.
Yeah, it's that west coast of Florida that's going to get hit, particularly Tampa Bay southward down toward Naples. And I'll get into the storm surge explanation in a moment. Because remember, it's a storm surge more than the wind that causes damage and destruction and even deaths. Let's get right to the latest on Hurricane Milton. Now, keep in mind, this went from a Cat 1 to a Cat 5 in 18 hours. It's the second fastest on record to do that since Wilma back in 2005. Max sustained winds of 180 miles per hour. Still a pretty compact storm. See the well-defined eye there just north of the Yucatan Peninsula, just offshore. And this is likely to lose some of its intensity and be downgraded over the next couple of days. However, the problem with that is as these systems weaken like that, they actually become bigger and cover a greater area. So a Category 3 covering a greater area can be more damaging and problematic than, say, a Cat 4 or 5 that's really, really small and contained in one small spot. Notice a pretty good agreement on the computer models right now, making that direction and landfall toward Tampa Bay area. This, however, keep in mind, this can trend one way or the other. This isn't set in stone at all. Just because there's a consensus doesn't mean that that consensus won't change north or southward. That can be the case. Then it heads out into the Atlantic and moves eastward. You look at the forecasted path, Cat 5 through tomorrow, and likely a Cat 4, and then weakening to about a Category 3. Still a major hurricane, winds of 125 miles per hour, give or take, somewhere near Tampa Bay, plus or minus 100 miles north or south right now. That's what it's looking like with that landfall Wednesday night, Wednesday evening, Wednesday night. But the impact starting even before then, and then that gets pushed out over the Atlantic. I want to talk about the storm surge. Now, you look at the peak storm surge and this purple area, I'm just being very vague with it, worst storm surge, because you see how that counterclockwise flow of high wind starts pushing right into that coastline from roughly St. Petersburg all the way down toward Naples. And the closer you are to the center of that storm, the higher the winds and the more of a push of wind that you get. So the worst storm surge right now expected to be 10 to 15 feet around Tampa, St. Pete, Clearwater, Sarasota, down to Inglewood, then 6 to 10 feet in parts of the Fort Myers area. What's keeping it away from us? Upper level high, Big Blue H over Texas with the clockwise flow around it. That's keeping that action offshore and away from us. Our mornings will get a little bit cooler and more comfortable. We're down in the low to mid 60s for afternoon highs by the middle of the week, all the way through the upcoming weekend. That could even be a little below average, which is nice to see. 68 in the morning tomorrow, 95 in the afternoon. That would actually tie the record for the day. Record challenging heat Tuesday and Wednesday. More on what helped Hurricane Milton strengthen so quickly and what would make it fall apart a little bit, just be downgraded a little bit as it heads toward Florida. Coming up at 6:45 around here, quiet, high and dry. We're still looking for the cold front. Nothing in sight anytime soon.
We keep waiting. Thanks, Adam.
All right, so it is go time at the Frost Bank Center. The Spurs will be playing tonight, the first preseason. First night at the Frosty for a while for our Mary Rominger. She joins us live now from the floor. Mary.
Yes, the doors are open. The energy is getting a little bit more intense, and the story of the 2024-25 season will soon come to fruition for the San Antonio Spurs. After the break, we talk about how training camp is going ahead of their tip-off against OKC, plus Dak Prescott's game-winning drive late last night was the difference in Pittsburgh.
It's been physically tough. I mean, we've been going 2.5 hours since Tuesday. So, I mean, we had a hard practice Saturday all week, so it was good. We got after it, and I feel like we got better.
The grind of the NBA season has officially begun for the San Antonio Spurs in big board sports. We are getting closer and closer to the Spurs' 7 o'clock preseason tip-off against OKC. And as you heard Blake Wesley just say, the Spurs are in the thick of training camp. And one of the biggest headlines this offseason for the San Antonio Spurs is the addition of Chris Paul and Harrison Barnes, who share over 30 years of NBA experience. But still, the Spurs roster is mostly loaded with young players, including 2024 lottery pick Stephon Castle. At this morning's shoot-around, Sandro Mamukelashvili shared the biggest differences from last year's training camp to this year's.
I would definitely say first veterans for sure, but other than that, like, I feel like the guys matured a lot. Like, I feel like last year we were all in a hurry a little bit. You know, we were like, we didn't know how to play with Vic, but we wanted to play with Vic. But at the same time, everybody was like, oh, like, what do I do now? What is my position? So I feel like it's been great, just like coaches breaking down, making it simple for our roles. Like, this is your role, this is how you gotta play, and kind of learning Vic and learning CP3 and everybody. I feel like we're just much slower, and I feel like it's more enjoyable.
Well, CP3 and Victor Wembanyama are amongst the players not suiting up tonight. Tip-off is at 7 o'clock, and we'll have the highlights on the Night Beat. Late last night, after a long weather delay, the Dallas Cowboys defied the odds and improved to 3-2 after a 20-17 win over the Pittsburgh Steelers. QB Dak Prescott's outing was mixed with brilliant plays and baffling ones. And what will be remembered, though, is his go-ahead TD pass to Jalen Tolbert with 20 seconds left to secure Dallas's second straight win.
You're pissed at yourself, like you said, for the turnovers, for the interceptions. But when I realized I have the ball down 4 with an opportunity to score with enough time, plenty of time, that's all I can ask for. And that's why I say you just thank God for those opportunities, putting me in that and just allowing me, the training, everything that we put into this, the team, the offense, we can go win this game.
Now back in Houston, the Texans and Bills went down to the wire. It wasn't pretty, but the Texans pulled off the 23-20 victory thanks to a Kaimi Fairbairn game-winning field goal. Houston is second in the AFC, and you could say they still have yet to play their best ball.
I think you can always go back and be like, I want these 3 plays back, these 4 plays back, but I look at, myself in the mirror and know, like, man, I'm still that guy. And then you talk about Kaimi, I mean, he had my back, just like I have his back.
Whatever yardage it is, I really don't care. I want that shot, and I think that's part of being good at this job, is wanting that and wanting that opportunity, and I look forward to him.
It was a historic day for Fairbairn. Well, that'll do it from me at Frostbank Center. We'll show you tonight on the Night Beat what unfolds behind me as the Spurs take on OKC for their preseason opener. Back to you guys in the studio.
Be exciting to watch. Thank you, Mary.
Coming up next, KSAT explains. Have you ever wondered how Doppler radar works? Justin Horn quite literally takes us inside. Next.
You see it all the time during the weather forecasts. Doppler radar. It can pick up everything from storms to bats at the Bracken Cave.
So how does that radar work? Here's meteorologist Justin Horn for KSAT Explains.
Bracken Cave is the home to the largest colony of bats in the world. We're talking about 20 million Mexican free-tailed bats.
For those who have never been to Bracken Bat Cave, the bat emergence is a sight to behold.
Right there at the cave, we call it a bat-nado, because it's literally a swirling vortex of bats there at the cave. And then you can see them streaming away, this river of bats in the sky.
What these bats lack in size, they make up for in quantity, which explains why we can see these fascinating creatures not just with our eyes.
If you've ever wondered where Bracken Bat Cave is located, you need look no further than Doppler radar. During the evenings in the summer, you can often see them coming out of the cave. It looks like a circle on the radar. You can sometimes see them coming back into the cave in the mornings as well.
We have a bat-nado at night and raining bats in the morning.
All due to their feeding schedule. And this giant soccer ball-looking structure sees every bit of it.
The radar will rotate around and send out pulses in all directions.
Matt Brady is a meteorologist at the National Weather Service in New Braunfels, where this Doppler radar is located. Brady knows radars inside and out.
So this is an interesting case because we had thunderstorms and then the bats came out after the thunderstorms.
Those pulses Brady speaks of are radio waves sent out from the radar that bounce off objects in the atmosphere. Any objects, as is the case with bats and occasionally insects like butterflies. But most commonly, it's weather. Once the energy strikes an object, it scatters in all directions. Only a small portion of the energy is scattered back to the radar. But that's how we know it's there. The radar can also detect the movement of that object away or towards the radar. Measuring this works like sound waves and the Doppler effect, hence the name Doppler radar, which is what all modern weather radars are. It then takes that data, converts it, and maps it.
We look at it constantly every day.
It can be argued it's the single most important tool for a meteorologist, but that wasn't always the case. Radar has come a long way.
Radar really was developed to assist in maritime navigation.
In the early 1900s, ships needed radar to avoid collisions in the fog. Then, as World War II approached, it was the Army Signal Corps that developed radar as a means of defense.
In fact, the U.S. Army Signal Corps coined the acronym RADAR, Radio Detection and Ranging. In 1934, they conducted experiments on behalf of the United States Navy because the Navy was concerned, again, back about maritime navigation.
By wartime, these experimental radars could detect aircraft too, as was the case on December 7th, 1941.
They spotted a flight of planes 136 nautical miles north of Oahu. Of course, it's the Japanese invasion fleet for Pearl Harbor.
Many countries experimented with radar during this time, and it took off.
Radar was a boon for air traffic controllers. It also was later developed for radio astronomy. Traffic cops now use it later on to check with speeders.
But it was detecting weather where arguably it proved most useful. So after the war, some of the radars were donated to the Weather Bureau. Now there are 159 weather radars strategically placed throughout the U.S. and its territories, and they've been in use ever since. And they've improved.
About 10 to 15 years ago, there was new technology that the Doppler radar has adapted called dual polarization.
This means we went from only looking horizontally through the atmosphere to looking horizontally and vertically. This change has been a huge step forward in the world of meteorology.
It can tell us how strong a thunderstorm may be. It could also detect possible rotation.
And for Brady, this very technology helped in a severe weather outbreak this past March. While we were in the KSAT Storm Chaser, he was radar operator at the National Weather Service that day.
It was a significant tornado. It was an EF2.
Brady and the National Weather Service, who are responsible for issuing warnings, tagged their tornado warning with the wording "tornado on the ground," without any eyewitness confirmation, because they could see debris on the radar kicked up by the tornado itself. This helped get word out faster. For San Antonio, we utilized two radars, one near Brackettville and this one in New Braunfels. We wanted a closer look, so after a 90-foot climb up some pretty steep steps, we make it inside the radome, which protects the radar itself from the elements. It looks kind of like a soccer ball.
Right now we're inside the radome, and if the radar were in use, it would be spinning around. It's on the other side of this dish where waves emit and return near the speed of light.
During calm air, during calm weather, it's going much slower, but then during very violent weather, like tornadoes possibly, it's really spinning fast, and it's making cuts in the air very quickly, as fast as it physically can.
It's a big piece of machinery, and if a human were to stand in the way of the emitting waves, which is not advised, you'd feel your body starting to heat up like a microwave. The radar tilts so it's never aimed towards the ground or us, but instead through varying parts of thunderstorms.
And that could allow us to see higher up in the thunderstorms and see if a hail core is developing above the ground.
In other words, we can see if a storm may produce large hail before that hail even makes it to the surface. We can even see the difference between sleet and snow. At the end of the day, it's all of these things that make radar invaluable. It helps you plan your day, it helps us forecast the weather, and if you ever want to know what the bats are up to, it helps with that too. For KSAT Explains, I'm Justin Horn.
We cover a lot of different topics in our KSAT Explains series. To check out any of the explaining that we've done so far, scan this QR code. You can find KSAT Explains on YouTube, the KSAT Plus app, and KSAT.com. We'll be right back. In about 2 months, a new neighborhood park will open on the north side. It will be a place for families to go and have fun, but this was all inspired by another family's heartbreaking loss.
Yeah, Mitchell Chang was 3 years old when he drowned in 2018. Patty Santos catches up on the progress of a park that's helping to keep his memory alive.
It is November 30th at 10 a.m. We are having a huge celebration here at Class and Stephen Ranch Park in Mitchell's Landing, and we want everyone to come and celebrate with us.
You heard it, San Antonio families. Mitchell's Landing finally has an opening date.
We're not even setting up like a ribbon cutting. We're doing it like a ribbon tying because it's our community that brought this together and built this playground.
Hiccups with permits and construction delayed the 2023 opening. April Chang says it's all hands on deck on the finishing touches.
Gosh, this is amazing.
Isn't it? Oh, it is. It really is.
It makes me want to go out and play.
It's a magical space inspired by her late son, Mitchell Chang, who drowned in 2018. The 3-year-old loved pirates. The park started out as a tribute, but in this journey, April's discovered a greater need.
It no longer became a representation of Mitchell, but more just a good that he's doing for families. And that's amazing.
The park has unique features specifically geared to making this space inclusive for children with different needs. April is making sure it goes beyond the American with Disabilities Act standard.
So what makes it inclusive?
Okay, so lots of things can make a play component inclusive that people don't realize. For example, like this spinner here. Rapid spinning actually really helps with centralizing a lot of individuals with sensory stimulation and autism.
These sitting chairs have a harness.
It could be a wheelchair or even trunk stability issues. Children with cerebral palsy who can't sit upright with their core muscles. These zero gravity seats give them the support and stability so that they don't fall out and get hurt.
What started out as a project of heartbreak, April now hopes will lead to awareness and set a new standard.
He was just so sweet and kind that this really does encompass him and inviting everyone to join.
Patty Santos, KSAT 12 News.
What a special place. Well, the wait is finally over. HEB announcing they're bringing tap to pay to its stores. The easy way to pay system has been available almost everywhere but HEB for years. Well, it was recently rolled out at Central Markets in Texas. So yes, starting today, some HEBs in San Antonio will accept tap to pay from cards and digital wallets at its cash registers, self-checkout lanes, even the pharmacy. It'll take about a week for all HEBs in the area to roll the new feature out. One note, though, HEB gas station pumps will not accept the tap to pay.
Okay, now we know. Look outside with live cam this evening. It's a pretty picture out there, but these temperatures, Adam, still a little bit warmer than we might like.
Yeah, they are really a lot warmer than we'd like this time of year. I mean, we're in record challenging territory the next couple of days. 95 tomorrow, that would tie the record. 96 on Wednesday, that would break the record by 2 degrees, and then we trim downward into the lower 90s. But that's still above our average high of 85 degrees. And there's really no sign of that cool Canadian air, except not even that cool in Canada right now, to be honest with you, but of the cooler air pushing southward and making it here. We're going to talk more about our overall temperature trends, some more pleasant mornings, and Hurricane Milton in just a bit.
Obviously, a lot of attention right now in the Gulf as torrential rains, wind.
That's a big storm.
Everything a hurricane packs with it coming towards Florida.
Yeah, Milton right after Helene, Adam.
Yeah, kind of a double whammy for parts of Florida, and this is going to be, worse for areas further south of where Helene hit. And we're going to get to the latest in a second. I want to get back to our temperature trend around here. I know a lot of us anxious for that first cold front and something that we can really feel to give us that fall-like feel. And let's go to the maps across the nation right now. And we have some 60s closer to the Great Lakes. That's about it. Even 70s stretching up toward Canada. And check out the current temperature in parts of southern Canada. We are in the lower 70s. So we don't have that really that significantly cooler air available right now to plunge southward. And indications are that we're not going to see a big surge of cool air anywhere but the northern tier of the U.S. where they'll see some drops, especially you see into New England. Some of that cooler air in Ontario will move over there later this week. But the red and orange indicating the warm temperatures remaining in place. The blues, those are cooler temperatures, some cooler air, and it's really not making it here anytime soon. 68 in the morning tomorrow, upper 80s at noon, 95 the high temperature, a lot, really just more of the same. Make to 91 in Kerrville tomorrow, Carrizo Springs and Cotulla up to 97. Record challenge, I mean, tomorrow would tie the record, 95. Wednesday, 96. That would be a new record by 2 degrees. And then we fall back down into the low 90s for the end of the week and into the weekend. But I want to point out, low to mid 60s for morning temperatures by midweek, really by Wednesday morning. And that brings us back to and even slightly below average for this time of year. So that's something to look forward to, as the mornings will be a little more pleasant at the bus stop. Otherwise, pretty quiet weather pattern, except for what we have in the Gulf of Mexico. Hurricane Milton, Category 5, went from Cat 1 to Cat 5 in 18 hours. That's the second fastest on record, second to Wilma back in the notorious season of 2005. One reason it's strengthening so rapidly, the very warm waters of the Gulf of Mexico. Remember, the warm water is like fuel. It's like jet fuel for these hurricanes and these tropical systems. It's just one of the elements. And water temperatures 84 to 87 degrees. And we need to compare that to average. Those waters are significantly warmer than average. Even 2 degrees Celsius is a significant anomaly, deviation from normal. This is about 2 to 4 degrees Fahrenheit above average for this time of year. And this is what we've been seeing in the Gulf for years now. It hasn't changed. Notice how the track of it takes it eastward. It's going to run into stronger winds aloft that'll cut the storm a little bit, and some drier air it'll pull in, but still a major Category 4 to Category 3 hurricane by landfall Wednesday night, early Thursday morning, somewhere near Tampa. It could be anywhere from 100 miles north to 100 miles south of Tampa, so plus or minus 100 miles, but likely somewhere within that 50-mile range, north or south of Tampa, and then pushing eastward out into the Atlantic Ocean. Of course, storm surge, the big thing, it could have winds of 125 miles per hour, which will be destructive, but it's water that causes most of the damage because the wind is, those high winds are pushing the water inland. So that means the storm surge, the water level above the ground, and this does take into account the astronomical tide, but it could be 10 to 15 feet above ground level. Tampa, St. Pete, Clearwater, Sarasota, Inglewood, and then just dropping gradually down toward Fort Myers and Naples. You're going to hear a lot more about this storm in the days ahead and even the days after it hits. What's keeping it away from Texas? Big Blue H over North Texas, that clockwise flow, pushing it away and keeping it offshore away from us. All we really have to talk about around here is some more pleasant mornings.
Record highs.
Is something.
It is. Thank you, Adam.
Nibby and Diwali coming up in the bus.
Wally.
All right, in the buzz, I want you to meet somebody. Meet Nibby, the 2-year-old beaver at the center of some controversy in Massachusetts. This buck-toothed beauty, found on the side of the road when she was just a few days old, she has been in the care of a wildlife rescue center ever since.
But Massachusetts wildlife officials issued an order for Nibby's release into the wild last week. That's something her caretakers say would put her at risk. So after days of a public outcry here, the Massachusetts governor stepped in to grant a reprieve, permitting Nibby to stay in the only home that she has ever known.
Seems like common sense prevailed there.
I think so.
Yeah. All right. Let's talk about Barbie now. Nibby, Barbie. Barbie unveiling their first ever Diwali doll. She commemorates the Indian Festival of Lights.
Her skirt has dahlias on it, jasmine, and the Indian lotus, all symbols for strength and beauty. And it's complemented with golden bangles and earrings that reflect the radiant lights of the festival.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, there's a big Diwali festival right here in San Antonio.
I know.
Every year.
Yeah. So you can get your Barbie Diwali and go to the festival here. We'll be right back.
Mid-90s tomorrow. Record challenging territory here in town. Even closer to 90 in the hill country. Cotulla up to 97. We get into Wednesday, 96. That'll be the warmest of the week. Well above average for this time of year. The average high is 85. So we're running 10 degrees above average through Thursday. Then temperatures trim back and mornings become a little more pleasant in low to mid 60s.
All right. Thanks, Adam. And thank you for watching the news at 6.
See you back here on the Night Beat at 10.